Yes, mate.
Paul?
So I didn't think I was going to be able to get out working, mate. I'm terrible with technology, bro. I really am.
How are you doing, pal? You good?
Yeah, I'm right, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, all good, mate. Nice one for coming back on, mate. It's much appreciated.
No. I thank you for your time, mate, as always. You know what I mean?
Sweet, bro. I was wondering if you could take us back to getting offered to fight over America in the BYB crossover that you've just fought in.
Yep.
You could just tell us about that, pal.
Yeah, well, basically, mate, what it was, we was the BYB and BKB together, two companies working together. I didn't know if I was going to get the chance, obviously being 40 or 41, and there's a lot of up and coming good talent in BKB at the minute. Sort of told that, you know, if I sort of carry on with my nut down working hard, and this at the time I had to fight with Conan. Actually, that was the plan, sort of thing. This is when all the America stuff come about. Yeah, it was the day before. It was the day before. Yeah, I was up in London, staying there because the next day I was fighting Conan, and I got an email through from one of my friends saying, "Have you seen BYB's website?" And I was like, no. And they pinged a screenshot through, like, of basically a poster of me saying, like, the Soul Snatchers coming to America, fighting on BYB, you know. And that's actually how I found out, mate. So it was I had the move in my fighting career happen over a text, and it was a night before a fight that I was G'd up for, mate. I was really focused for that fight. So my friend who was with me, I give him my phone. I said, I don't want to see it. I don't even want to talk about it. And yeah, and I switched off, mate, ready to fight Conan. And then obviously the next day he fucking pulled out on me. So it just sent me in a mad spiral of emotion, if you get what I'm saying. I was absolutely so depressed because obviously that was the second time, obviously, the fight. And then I just felt like it was obviously, yeah, it was meant to be. And then BKB, sorry, give me the option of not taking a fight before the American, because obviously I was booked to fight Conan. Yeah. And I want to fight, I want to fight. And Jim was like, listen, you've got you've got your fight in America, don't jeopardize or whatever. And yeah, me being me, mate, we was just going for it. We fucking took it, and that was a Tompkins fight. But obviously, you still have to commit to things. Do you get what I'm saying? And me being me, where I was totally ready for the fight, and Tompkins come in last minute, we carried it through. It didn't go my way, but that's life, sort of thing. I can take the rough with the smooth. And then obviously the next step was America, mate. And yeah, when we went out there, what an experience that was, and what a sort of life. I know it sounds corny, but it was like a lifelong achievement in fighting. Obviously, I didn't set out to be a fighter. I didn't put gloves on until I was 28. So I've not had this mad dream that a lot of, fighters that start young have. Oh yeah, I want to fight abroad and all this. But yeah, we've done it, my man. Hard work, dedication. I've never listened to no one telling me, oh, you're not good enough, you can't do this, you're fucking too old, this, that, and the other. I've sort of thought bollocks to everyone. Obviously, as well as, we've had professional people that have put me in boxes, should we say, with things with my spine. And I've gone against all odds, to push myself through it. And again, taking the BYB transaction of the fighting with the clinch in the triangle, it was another aspect of a challenge set for myself. And I felt comfortable, mate. Traveling out to America, I've never traveled and fought before anywhere, so let alone traveling halfway across the world to America. You know what I mean? It was just powerful, mate. You know what I mean? It was.
How did you feel like over there? Because it's total different experience, different time zones. Were the nerves and that different?
You know what, mate? Because obviously I'm like, I didn't go out there with no one. I didn't take a team out there. My wife came with me because, you know, that is my journey, BKB in England. I haven't got a coach, you know, I haven't got a team. I've got people I train with and people around me, and they're good, solid people that I respect a lot, and I respect their views, but I don't take guidance from no one as such. So going out there was a bit like of a dwelling aspect to be going to a foreign country fighting another discipline with no one there, sort of thing. But I sort of knew that, like, I've got the minerals to sort of do that, mate. You know, like I'm not talking shit about myself. It's just that I know that this journey's you know, it's a lonesome journey, and it's one that I've chose to do like by myself with my family, sort of backing me up. So with my wife coming over there with me, it was like that was basically me. Do you get what I'm saying? That was me. I was happy. I was in a good place. I turned there straight away. I've got a good contact. Chris Sarrow is a very good friend of mine. I've only met him through the internet. He's a bare knuckle fighter for BKFC. We've about a year. Contacted him. I said, Chris, this is how it is, mate. I got the chance to come Miami. I've got no team. I've got no coach. If you could just meet me, if you know, if it fits in, and you could just put me through some pads, just put me through, introduce me to a gym, maybe this, that, and the other. And bless his heart, and I can't, like, lifelong friend made there, brother, in that situation, because he got me joined up with a Fifth Street gym in Miami, downtown Miami. I don't know if you know anything about that gym, but it's a fucking monsters gym, and you know, sheer professionals go down there. I couldn't have fallen into a better place. Don't get me wrong, when I walked in there the first few days, it was sort of like, you know, listen, I'm not. It's the way any gym is. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I come over from America, come over from England, sorry, by myself. Turned up and said, you know, they've said, "Oh, Chris has said you're coming down to train." And yeah, I did feel alone. Do you get what I'm saying? The first few days, mate, but I just cracked on because that's what I do. In England, I train myself and by myself. So it was no different to me. Do you know what I mean? I went out there, I soaked up the buzz from the gym because it's so professional in there and it's so cutthroat. You know, the people out there, they're proper fighters and they train ruthless. A bit of me, you know what I mean? And I loved it. I soaked it up. I took it in there, you know, and soaked up the vibe in there. Then the hotel we stayed at, BYB, put me up at the like the Trump National, which was just unbelievable. The gym was fully kitted out, running machines, all air conditioned, every bit of exercise. Wicked sauna and spa there. So we was absolutely well made, bruv. Do you know what I mean? I felt comfortable. I felt well good going to the fight. I mean, I don't know whether the jet lag sets into your muscles more than maybe mentally. You know, by about the third or fourth day, I'd spoken to a friend of mine that's a pilot, and he told me about your sleep debt. When you travel through time zones, your body sort of gets into sleep debt, and you have to build that back up. So I listened to him, and I did. The first 3 or 4 days, I caught back on the sleep the way that he told me to do, and I felt fine, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, you know, it's not like in the fight I had that much of a bad fight where I didn't turn up and I can make excuses for myself. There ain't no excuses. Do you know what I mean? I fucking good. I went in there. I give everything I could. Got cut nasty in the second round, which sort of took it away from me. But still, it's no excuses. That's the game I'm in. You know what I mean? Full credit to my opponent.
So how long were you over there for?
I got over there. When did I get over there? So I was fighting on the Saturday, and I arrived the Saturday before. Yeah, but basically what I done was...
So did you travel on the day after the fight?
No. What I done was, this is just something I personally done with my purse, because I was out there with my wife, and obviously we all know that when I get stuck into a fight, I really get stuck into a fight. I didn't want to get turned away from travelling due to swelling, be lost without accommodation and everything else. So I arranged with, obviously, the money I got from the fight for further accommodation for 4 days afterwards, so that I could just let the swelling go down, ice myself. This was before the fight. I mean, like, I'll go swimming, I'll get wet, sort of thing. So I allowed for it. So we was there a week before, and I stayed there 4 days afterwards.
So you had like 11 days out there.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man.
It was unbelievable. I mean, I'm not well travelled. I'm not someone that sort of flies around the globe. And America's one thing, and then Miami's just another different thing. And then the Trump National is even something else. You know what I mean? Like, it's Donald Trump's golf course, so you can imagine. I don't even like golf, but I've got an appreciation of how sort of it was powerful. It was powerful.
Yeah, I've been to Miami before. It's exactly like it is on the movies and everything in it, with the trees and the houses and everything.
I felt like, I mean, it was so funny because my bloods, where I was 40, I had to have a lot more tests than what other fighters do, because the commission out there are really good. Like I think it's really good. There's probably some fighters that moan about it, but I was really happy, you know, like MRI scans, and there's ECG, but it was deeper than what the English people like commission does for even for professional boxing. Like, I was really impressed with it. But anyway, they've sent me to this place, and I didn't realise that most of Miami is Hispanic. They're not like Americans. Yeah. I'm really not. This is what I'm saying, bruv. I'm really naive to the world, sort of thing. Yeah, I've been to Thailand and this, that, and the other, but I've never gone to America, so I didn't know none of this, right? And the matchmaker Mel has messaged me going, "Do you speak Spanish?" Right, just totally random on the morning of my blood test. No, I don't. Like, my language I learned in school, which I don't remember much of, was German. Funny enough, right? And I don't speak a word of Spanish at all. Even you might want to learn, and he sent me through like a list, right, of sort of like quick references. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Things, mate. I couldn't learn that for nothing. Anyway, I've gone to this blood test thing. He dropped me off. I got in the Uber, and obviously he knows where I'm going because he's got the postcode on his phone. He's like, "What are you doing in that neighbourhood?" Right? And I'm not a div. Yeah, I'm not a div. So I looked at him. He was a young fella, and I said, I'm not naive, my man. I said, for you to ask me straight away what I'm doing in the neighbourhood I'm going, I said, is it not a good neighbourhood? He went, "You speak Spanish?" I went, "No." He went, "Yeah." He said, "Don't hang around there." He said, "Don't." He said, "It's a total, like, you know, it's people don't speak English there." Anyway, I've sort of thought, whatever. He's dropped me off at this place, right, to get these blood tests. When I say no one spoke English, right, I mean, I could have, if I see someone a mile away, I could have walked that mile to grab them, and they didn't speak English, right? I couldn't. Oh, but they was lovely people, but obviously they didn't understand. The most conversation I got was everyone was pointing at my tattoos and asking me about my tattoos. Trying to get these bloods done. But yeah, no, it was brilliant out there. The culture out there, just every single thing apart, mate. It was brilliant. And BYB, their matchmaker, Mel the matchmaker, and Mike the owner. And I don't need to blow smoke up their arse. I might never fight out there again, but I might as well. Like, I might also manage to do it again. But there's nothing. I'm not saying this for any reason other than they absolutely treated us, like me, as so respectful. You know, it opened my eyes. You know, it really see like this brotherhood of what they call a bare knuckle alliance, and it might not just be them two companies. It might be all over. But obviously, I only know it personally through BYB. It was sweet, bro. You know what I mean? It set for me to go in and I felt safe to commit, you know, and like all in. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, them MRI scans and everything, it's good, innit? It's good that the fighters get that peace of mind and
it cost them more money. It cost BKB more money, and obviously because there's not that many over 40 fighters, funny enough, that fight for them. I should think that was a question in like, oh, should we send Paul? Should we not? And it just goes to show that sort of with the belief they had in me, you know, to pay the extra money to get the scans done. But when they sent it through to me, like you have to have eye dye test, and normally £20 eye thing, just an optician's check, and that's what the board have. But they made me get my eyeballs dyed and x-rayed, so there were no problems like on the back of the retina, like real. Obviously, being 40 myself and fighting for the last 12 years, I was really happy, you know, that the state was asking that of it, you know, and it all.
Class. So how did you actually feel in the fight, Paul? When round one went, how did you feel? Did you feel good and strong in there?
Yeah, round one I felt good. The clinch didn't bother me. I like the clinch. I like the dirty boxing. Yeah, that didn't really bother me. I was a bit taken back because what we'd worked for Alan, he sort of had an answer for, and then caught in the sort of misfire of thinking what to come next. Because that's what I'm saying. I've got to give him credit where it's due. The fight I'd seen before was like a sort of worse version of the one I fought on the night, which is what fighters should do. They should improve every fight. And he did. And it was just saying I hadn't credited him for. So I was trying to deal with that in there. And then in the second round, straight away, I got that. I mean, the first round, I think it was quite even, to be fair. And then I think the second round, as soon as I got that cut, I knew how bad it was. I go on drip rate, and like the drip was drip, 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 and I thought, "Fuck me, that's bad." So I was sort of panic fighting, but with one hand up, and then it was. I was getting caught again on the return because I only had a guard, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Probably didn't look nothing like that, but I knew what was happening in there. And then, yeah, it's the same thing when Jack Arnfield cut me. It goes to that thing, you're on limited time. You know what I mean? Like, there is, like, I'm surprised that I made it through to the 5th round. You know what I mean? Yeah, I must.
Well, it was fight of the night, am I right?
Yeah, we won fight of the night. Got a nice little bonus for that. Again, credit to BYB for that. Yeah, that's what I think. Might have been the only fight that went. Oh no, there was another one that went 5 rounds. But yeah, we got a fight of the night, and it was entertaining. Don't get me wrong. I know what I couldn't pull off, but obviously to spectators, there's blood, guts, and I didn't give up. Do you get what I mean? So it's that to and from fight that obviously the spectators like. Yeah, and I was happy to put on a performance like, you know.
So was the cut previous scar tissue, or was it a fresh cut?
That was a fresh cut, mate. Yeah, it was a fresh cut, and it wasn't too bad until he cut me in the second, and it was halfway through the third. I think the doctor checked it, and he said, if you take 2 more strikes, or 2 more strikes, Paul, I'm gonna have to pull you on that. And I went, yeah, no worries, doc. I turned around, the first fucking punch that Alan threw fucking hit me straight on it, and the drip rate doubled. And I thought, nah. And that's when I just started going raggo and just sort of hoping that I might catch him before I get stopped. And then obviously we come out for the 5th round, and then I think that's when the doctors called it, you know. So yeah, there was nothing I could do, mate. You know, like, I don't know. I could sit here and say, yeah, well, I could have done this, could have done that, but you know, it's what if, innit? And it don't matter now. The results, you know, it's happened, and yeah, we just get on with it.
With the way obviously the fight went, because obviously before the cut, you were winning the fight, weren't you?
See, I don't know on that perspective, because I don't like to talk like that. Yeah, the results are results. Yeah, the way that I say it, I know it's pretty ruthless, but I'm a loser from that fight, and I don't really go over. You know, oh, how close was it? All I know was that I wasn't out the fight before that happened. If that makes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got a couple of messages from a couple of Americans saying, I believe one judge. I mean, I don't know how true this is. You know, that's why I'm having a little smirk to it. But he was like, I think one judge had you at least drawing, you know, and whatever. I know that for, even though I lost, I'm not sitting here like, I was very disappointed with my performance, but I know why I was performing the way I did. It was because I thought, but I was thinking, try to make sure that cut ain't hit, and then I'm off my game plan already. So you shaming that because I'm rolling with the way the fight's going. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. The reason I brought that up is because there could be a massive possibility of a rematch being on, with it being fight of the night and obviously being a close fight.
It's already been spoke about, mate. It's already been spoke about, but obviously because we've got the Leeson fight, I don't like to talk shit about anything. I don't like to oversee anything, or even you know, when you talk about things, sometimes he's putting bad sort of vibes out there. But yeah, listen, the fight, I know Alan will be happy to take it. I'll be happy to take it. I'll take it in America or in England, in the Trigon or in the ring. You know, I believe that I know why that went the way it did. and it wouldn't happen again. But that's that's just said and put to bed, you know.
Yeah, 100%, mate. So what's the plans for the future in the bare knuckle, Paul?
Well, I've already got a fight 3rd of December.
Yeah.
Nathan Leeson. Obviously, Leeson's he's a veteran. I was down on the media day today for Netflix down in Birmingham for BKB.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about the fight. They're talking Leeson. He's a veteran, the same as me. I mean, I don't talk about myself like that, but then having 10 bare knuckle fights, I suppose you can sort of say like maybe the veteran word does come in. Had I believe he's seven fights in. He's fought some great people, you know, all the sort of top end of the BKB.
Yeah.
Two aim. That's that's what obviously BKB have put the fight on because they like it. The fact that one's the slick boxer, I suppose, and one's the brawler, should we say? Going to make for a great fight. You know what I mean? Nathan's not going to back down. I'm definitely not going to back down. I've got to make sure I put this to fucking bed and carry on the journey. I've still got more to give. You know, bigger fights to have, but I understand the way that, you know, shit rolls, and I've got to get with it and get a win under my belt to carry on knocking at them doors, you know.
Yeah, of course, mate. I look forward to watching the fight as well. December 3rd, did you say it was?
December the 3rd at the O2, yep.
Cushy, mate. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us, Paul?
No, that's it, bro. I just want to thank everybody because after the America fight, there was definitely, I was overwhelmed from the support from the UK and from fans all over the world. I think it put me out there on a bit of a platform, and I wasn't aware of it was going to do that. And I do want to thank everyone. I know it sounds corny, and I even like my fucking toes are curled up as I'm saying it because I don't want to be Floyd Mayweather because I definitely ain't that bloke, but right to do because, you know, my sponsors have solidly followed me through. Now, like I'm theoretically unemployed. I'm a professional fighter, full blown. I take care of my children full time and fight, and that is all I do. So I can't really. I can't show the gratitude that I feel towards people to be following me and supporting me. And yeah, you know, I just want to say literally thank you to everyone and people like yourself as well. You know, professionals that are out there in the mix of everything with their own companies and their own platforms going on, you know, giving me the time, wanting to be interested in my journey. I appreciate everything, you know what I mean?
Not a problem, mate. Thank you very much for the mention. And does he get any sponsors or big ups you want to?
Yeah, I will, please, mate, if that's all right. Well, I've picked up and the way things are at the minute financially, we've actually lost a couple of sponsors just because I've had to carry on with, you know, their own sort of outlays at the minute, which is totally understandable. Things are actually messed up out there. So I just want to obviously thank my sponsors that have had to leave me and get on with their own thing. And really show appreciation to my sponsors that are carrying on supporting me. And the first one's Total Waste Management, please, a recycle company. Hit them up with any waste needs you need dealing with. We've got Time Bomb Tattoos over in Canterbury, Lucy. I sat through about 7-8 hours of back tattoo in the last couple of weeks, so we've got going very well. Yeah, and I appreciate everything you do, Luce. We've got Black Sheep Dispensary as well, which is my CBD supplement company. They're brilliant. If you hit them up on Instagram, any CBD need or any inquiries about that sort of, you know, natural products, they can help you out with. We've got CMOS Co, which is CMOS gel. Obviously, you can do your own work about that. Google that, you'll see how good it is, the benefits of that. And that's Aaron CMOS Co there on Instagram. We've also picked up another sponsor, Alpha Capital Group, which is on Facebook and Instagram. Alpha Capital Group. They deal with trading and everything, that side of things. I don't know too much about all that world, but if you contact them with any queries or, you know, if you want to invest any money, they're a great company to jump on. We've got Wolf Building as well, Wolf Building Services, and we've got BA Surfacing from Whitford. Billy Anderson, he's really stood by me through the American trip and this camp. And I just want to show mad love to them all because without them, I literally would, I don't even know whether I'd be able to do this journey, you know, so appreciation when it's shown.
Yeah, big up. And hopefully, mate, we can catch up closer to December the 3rd and talk more about the upcoming fight, bro.
Yeah, that's wicked, mate. I really appreciate that, mate. Yeah, definitely. And also, well done. I've seen the platforms sort of going on with yourself as well. I see you getting live on your, things. I see you flying around, different interviews, different podcasts. So it's really good, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, mate. Massively appreciated, bro.
No worries, brother. I'll catch you soon.
Yeah, speak soon, Paul. Thank you very much, mate.
Cheers, bro. Bye, mate.
Ta-ra, mate. Nice one, everyone tuning in. I'm going to put Paul's social media and that in the description, so you can head over there and give him a follow on his Instagram and things like that. Also, big shout out to Violent Gentlemen who've sorted me out with this clothing. A couple of people, when I put it on my Insta story, were like, "Oh, can we get one? Just drop me a message if you want to get hold of one of them and we can sort it out." But yeah, big up everyone for tuning in. Big respect to Paul Hilz. Follow his journey. And respect everyone. Good night. God bless. Big shout out Team Me in there in the comments. See you later, people.